Verse 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And our Lord, was the image, the true image of our Lord. And just the truth. Period. Is completely xed out here. You know. You know. Verse 9, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And see, all these other nations, which and mainly Esau, because see all these other nations know exactly who we are, and they knew, that at a certain period of time, King David, and Solomon, we would have them, ruling, under our subjection, and ruling under us, because now they finally see us, in our lower state, and our power is stripped from us, so they made merry, in our torment and our downfall, and they rejoiced over us, man, mainly the so-called white man, Esau, Verse 11, after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, and that's going back, to what we just read in Malachi chapter 4, and I'll read it again, because, that spirit, the Lord, made sure upon his word, on damn, man, this fucking Satan, man. Won't let me click the fucking thing. But, just type it in. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse I read verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. And I'm gonna go back to Revelation chapter 11, because see that great breath, which caused us to stand upon our feet back in these times, us knowing who we are, like in Ezekiel 37, with the valley of the dry bones, the sinews upon the flesh, and then that breath, that breath once again was restored back in Israel, to the sons of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, us knowing, the order again, us knowing who we are, us knowing who our power is, us coming back, to our steed. You know what I'm saying? And these people, mainly these elites, they see that, and they're troubled in terrible fear. Matter of fact, I'll read this first, and I'll get that in Wisdom of Solomon, verse 11. After 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Mainly these elites, because see, these elites know exactly who the people are, who the chosen people are, according to the scriptures, like in Psalms, where it says, they study a diligent search, these elites, these elites, they diligently, search things, man. They research the old things, they know, who the people are, they know, who, who's who, if I should say, see, Yahweh Shem Yahshua gave him all the power, and the liberty, on this earth, and and they're using it, and they diligently, they study, man. You know, these elites study, they study, like literally, pretty much, almost every element, known to man, pretty much, you know, like like on the minds of the people, the history of the people, genealogies and and whatnot, you know. And one thing they do understand, they understand, that at a certain time in prophecy, that this is going to happen. That see through spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi outside, that the prophets will stand back upon their feet, the chosen, election of, nation of Israel will stand upon their feet in these last days, with the breath, in them, returning unto them and knowing who they are, and that, that in itself is, a major sign and a major omen unto them, an imminent token of their destruction. Verse 11, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, start at verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And these elites, they're losing sleep because, of this very thing. What, what you see, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American men all throughout the planet stand upon their feet, call upon the true names of Yahweh Shemi Shai all throughout the world, in spirit and in truth, prophesying, the coming destruction, upon Babylon the Great, and the prophecies that's coming with it, and the second coming of the true, the true Messiah. I'm saying, all according to prophecy and breaking it down to in these last days. And this is a silence to them, because see, they understand that, that time is running out, and ultimately, they have to pay, for the, for the wicked deeds and deeds, of their forefathers, which truly, they are their forefathers, in the reincarnation. So these elites, they're losing sleep, man. That's why, now you see, shit's getting real fucking sloppy. It's real tacky and sloppy, and it's like, he's not like covering his tracks like he usually do. This whole boogeyman demic, these fucking false flags is happening because, like in the 12th chapter in Revelation, in the 12th verse, therefore rejoice ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And especially now, with all these signs popping off, this devil's, his time is shorter than ever, man. This devil's on borrowed time, and and this, us standing back upon our feet is a major sign unto them. That that his end is very near. And the verse, let's see, the second verse, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Because see, now I'm gonna read this. Verse. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and the enemies beheld them. That cloud was talking about a so-called UFO, because, what's the reason, why, the Lord is saying, come up hither, until the election. Because, so that they won't, Matter of fact, I'll read the next verse. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the tenth part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. That earthquake is talking about the great devastating destruction, you know, at the pelting of these ICBM nuclear missiles, you know, you know, fucking pelting America, man. You know, and scripture tell you that the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, you know. Like, see, me, you know, I never been in an earthquake, but see, you know, I heard, um, people, explain what an earthquake is like, and you know, it's scary as fuck, you know, like literally the whole ground under you is moving, and you don't, you know, and you just moving with it. You know what I'm saying? But see, this great earthquake that's coming very soon, in you know, the near future, it's gonna shake the earth, you know, and reel it to and fro like a drunkard, you know. You see like a drunken person just staggering, like I'm talking about really, you know, really super, just fucking drunk, you know. He, like, you know, just falling everywhere and shit. Like he has complete no coordination, like complete no balance. He's just completely, you know, out of place. Well, the Lord, you know, he's getting ready, to roll the earth like a dice, and you know, and fucking shake it, man, because of, you know, at the destruction. Matter of fact, I'll get this precept. It's lucky. I'll try to find it. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll try to get this in Isaiah. So like, yeah, just bear with me. Here it comes. It's Isaiah 24. I'll start at verse 18. It shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. You know, so you know that's dealing, you know, at the the destruction of the missiles, because you know it's gonna be 200 million ICBM nuclear missiles that's gonna be pelting Babylon the Great. You know, and it's literally overkill, man. You know, like literally, you know, you know, like 200 million. You know, that's going to really, you know, shake the whole planet. You know, like we just read in the 20th verse, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. You know what I'm saying? Cause see, you know, with that much missiles, you know, just hitting, you know, one center, you know, one part of the planet, you know, it's gonna really, move and tilt the earth off its axis, fucking to and fro, you know. But I'll go back to Revelation 11, verse. You come verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. So simultaneously, as the missiles are being pelted, the Lord is going to beam up His election into the chariots, man. This is Revelation 15. Verse 1, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, seven angels having the seven last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. So he's talking about, the sea of glass mingled with fire, so John saw this, and he saw it as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, meaning he's on top of the ozone layer of the planet, and he described the ozone layer as a sea of glass, but in the midst of the sea of glass, on the ozone layer, the atmosphere, he saw as it were mingled with fire, meaning he's seen Babylon the Great, that nation is being decimated, with the missiles, man, and like that's why he saw it, and his only best way to describe it was, as it were a sea of glass, mingled with fire, because you see, even like NASA pictures, of them being in space and whatnot, if you are up there, you see the Earth, from space. It looks like just a complete sea of glass, just water everywhere, so of course, by you looking down, and if you were to see a nation on fucking fire, this is the best way how you would describe it, as a sea of glass mingled with fire. And what's that, that fire is talking about Babylon the Great. And he also saw them that had gone to victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. He saw the election standing, on, the sea of glass, man, having the harps of the Most High, and giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for delivering them, from, that great plague, that great destruction, so that, they won't, suffer that plague. It's like matter of fact, I believe it's in the 18th. It's lucky. It's lucky. Yeah, come. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with him, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All these other nations, have dabbled their hand, and made their abode with America, fucking, bought in with their philosophies and made their customs with them, their covenants with them, you know, and their fornications. That's why you see, like certain nations that was, hardcore in their customs. You see some of them, fucking turn to faggots, turn to, just complete the ideologies, of the West, and just taking on their customs, taking on um, democracy and whatnot. That's that's them drinking of the wine, and committing fornication with it. Verse 3: For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with it, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Just the great profit, that these other nations, were making, off of, America, like I would say China, just the great riches that they gain, from trading, and working, you know, um, you know, like with America. Verse 4: And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That same, the same voice, to come up hither, like we read in the 11th chapter, so in the 12th verse. And I heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. It's the same, enemies, like we just read, in the Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Because it's gonna be a strange thing, man. Everybody's trusting in their bunkers. These can see the moment when these these air raids go off and these sirens go off, everybody's gonna be panicking, all seeking shelter, and that notification, on the intercom, you have 30 minutes to get to your nearest bunker, yada yada yada. See, everybody's gonna be bugging out, but boom, right when that first ICBM drops, and that fire, that great flash comes, simultaneously, the election are gonna be beamed up. You're gonna be seeing, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, just being beamed up, and like it's gonna be so-called bugged out, to the eyes, of the peons, because truly that's a strange thing, like it's like, what the fuck, are these guys flying right now? The strangeness of his salvation, and that's all according to prophecy, and them just marveling, being amazed, just at the strangeness of their salvation, man. So far beyond all that they look for, because who'd have thought that so-called UFOs, is going, beam, these specific individuals, that you thought were just niggas, were just fucking nobodies, reading on, it goes into that. Verse 3: And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had sometimes in derision. And a proverb of reproach, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Yeah, man. And that's what, mainly, just pretty much everybody, in this world, man. They count our life as madness. Us going out there in the highways and byways, prophesying, it's like, it's bugged out into them. They call us crazy, they separate ourselves from them, they separate, it's like, themselves from us, certain family members, just fucking don't even want to deal with you no more, because they just believe, you bugged out the whole time, Lord willing, you are one of the predestined chosen, to be delivered. You know, and these same enemies are going, be, being awe and amazed at the strangeness of your salvation, man. Because why? Because you are counted amongst the children of the Most High, man. The sons of the living power. Uh, verse 4, we fools account his life majesty and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. And now, to go back into the sun of righteousness, see, the sun of righteousness is going to rise upon the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as cows of the stall. Meaning, you're going to be delivered, Lord willing, that you be part of that number and be granted mercy, from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and, you be, allotted amongst those that hear that voice, to come up hither, and be beamed up. Because, see, and, to go back to the main point of this lesson, a great melting is coming, man. A lot of people are getting ready to be fucking melted out here, man. And because of their pride that we just read in the first verse, because of their pride, and them doing wickedly, y'all gonna be stubble out here, man. Because see, the Lord gave you opportunity to get right, and what are people, using the liberty for? To just talk shit and scoff, and just fucking party and bullshit. But this thing, is gonna make them to remember, man. When all hell breaks the fucks loose, and even if you make it to the missiles, but you taking the MOTB and the Lord preserve you up until the second death, this is what you're gonna remember, man. Certain, brothers, prophesying unto you to get your ass right. And what'd you do? You want to, fucking, take pleasure in your unrighteousness, and commit proudly against the order of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But unto those that fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Lord is going to, deliver them, man. The sun of righteousness is going to be upon them. That deliverance is going to be upon them, man. And in a twinkling of an eye, you're going to be translated into the new covenant. With the new bodies, the new extra celestial / extraterrestrial type body. And it sounds crazy bugged out, but this is according to prophecy. This is what's going to happen, man. Once again, this world will be, truly amazed at the strangeness of the salvation of the election, man, that's written, to happen in these last days. But a great majority, of our people in this world is going to have to, suffer the second death. Going back to Revelation, chapter 11. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in the cloud, and their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. The remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. So, see, the remnant gonna be affrighted because, matter of fact, I'll get that precept. This is First Peter chapter 4. Let's start verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Righteous gonna be scarcely saved. Like, it's gonna seem like, that the missiles is gonna hit us. It might, it's Lord willing, that we be of that number. It's gonna, like, it might seem like, the wall of fire, you might even see the flash, man. You might even see that fucking flash. You might, feel like, a little bit of heat, but simultaneously, you're gonna, cry out to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and the Lord's gonna beam you up in the fucking twinkling of an eye, man. You're gonna be, transformed, and find yourself, in a ringside seat, of a chariot, man, of a so-called UFO, so-called, but these are chariots of the Most High, and you're gonna find yourself, in these things, man. Lord willing, that you endure to the end, and you be numbered, amongst the righteous. Verse 18, if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? And that's where it goes in, the remnant being affrighted, because see, it's gonna be fucking scary as hell, because you're going like it may seem like that you ain't gonna make it, that you almost ain't make it, but the Lord is gonna beam up, if you're part of that number, because the elect, is gonna be beamed up, just what's the saying? At the skin of their teeth, so to speak, and boom, just boom, instantly, in twinkling of an eye, you're gonna be, just fucking transformed. But everybody else that's not of the election, this is your condemnation, man. The second death. This is 2 Peter's chapter 2. Look here. Matter of fact, this is 2 Peter's chapter 3. It's like here, verse matter of fact, I'll just start at verse 1. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandments of the apostles of the Lord and Savior, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Yeah, man, that's why you see niggas, just fucking, like come up to the camp any type of way, just fucking, just debating, talking shit, just trying to hinder the truth, because, they're scoffing, they truly don't believe, that the Messiah is coming back, that these prophecies are written, were written before time, and, even from the beginning, and how they're manifesting in these times. So these people are, just fucking walking around here being ignorant, just scoffing, walking after their own lusts. Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? Yeah, for since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. So they're ignorant of the fact that what's it called? Certain Jakes may be like, oh, things change, man. This a new era. a new time we're living in, a new 21st century, whatever bullshit, the Bible's old news, the Bible's, fucking played out, the Bible's this and that, the Bible's man-made, this and that, but they're ignorant, of the truth. Verse 5, for this they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of the power of the heavens, so that by the word of the Most High, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water, in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Yeah, man. So they're ignorant, of the flood that happened back then, and how the manner, how the behavior and the people was walking in, and the reason why the Lord, caused the great flood to happen. Because see, the flood happened, man. The flood happened for a very, for the very reason of the great wickedness that was being done back then. And in this time, the wickedness has exceedingly the wickedness, of their forefathers, man. So in this time, the heavens and earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Like the Lord said, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. Where they're eating and drinking and partying and bullshit, and just committing all types of abominations and wickedness. I'm saying? You just, these things are reserved, this time for the second death that's written, man. Because the flood was the first death. The scriptures talk about the second death that's prophesied to happen, which is what? These ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Reserved for the day and judgment perdition of ungodly men. So Lord, he brings forth, he brought back, everybody from the old world, through the reincarnation, in this time, the ancient faggots, the ancient sodomites, the ancient, the ancient flood niggas, the niggas that died in the wilderness. Everybody's being brought back in these last days, in this planet, in this time, in this era, to receive this generation, man. What's going to tell you, the Lord visits the third and fourth generation. This is that generation, man. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, thy power and my jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And this is that generation. See, the Lord is, that's why you see Jake just prospering, certain niggas that sell out, they just living good, they gotta commit all types of, fucking abomination acts, to keep that fame, this money, certain niggas just in great pride, certain women, a lot of women just in great pride, because see, the Lord is giving up, is giving you over, to these lusts. This is, it's like here. This is Luke chapter 11, verse, it's like here. Yeah, it's like here. Yeah, this is Luke chapter 11, verse 47. Woe unto you, for ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truly ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your fathers, for they indeed killed them, and ye build their sepulchres, the sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of the Most High, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute. The blood of all the prophets It's like that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation, from the blood of Abel unto the blood of Zacharias which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, it shall be required of this generation. You know, and in that generation, in the time of Yahushua, was that same generation that cried out, for Barabbas, to let his blood be upon us and our children's children. So Lord, see, that's all according to prophecy, man. Because see, the Lord ordained that for them to say that shit, man. Because this, this judgment, this second death, was made for that reason, so that these people, would be perfected in their deeds and their wickedness, so that they receive their damnation, man. This is all according to prophecy, man. The Lord's gonna require it, from this generation that we're living in this time, man. See, everybody's being brought back in their steed, and their lot, man. Everybody's being brought back, and see, it's all towards this second death that's written in prophecy, man. But let me get this other precept too. It's Matthew chapter 26, and verse 29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measures of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you the prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation, man. So everybody's being brought back in this time, either to be delivered from what's coming, or really to suffer this second death, man. And a lot of people are getting ready to suffer the second death, man, because they walked in their great pride, in the imaginations of their own evil heart, like in the days of Noah. But I'm gonna go back to 2 Peter's. Second Peter chapter 3, verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and as 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So it may seem like, this thing may take forever, but the Lord's not slack concerning his promise, because, he's long-suffering towards his election, man. Each individual, brother, elect member, the same way, how he's brought back into the fold, the same way, a newer brother, is, being brought back, and another brother, and another brother, another brother, and us in our part, us, that may have been this thing, for a certain period of times, you know, but see, the Lord is long suffering, not that any should perish, man, not that one brother should perish, but best believe once that last member is sealed, which through the Spirit and power, we all blessing outside, that we believe, that hey, but through the Spirit, like the elect are pretty much well sealed. Best believe, man, all hell's getting ready to break loose, like in Revelation chapter 7. Where the angels are holding back the four winds of the earth. And you see every single individual. See, man, once that last member is sealed, then all hell's getting ready to break the fuck loose, man. All hell is getting ready to break loose, man. But they all should come to repentance. 10th verse. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing, so that great noise dealing, the great, the boom, of these, these missiles fucking, detonate, and the elements are gonna melt with fervent heat, these missiles. I remember there's a video, this Edomite, he pretty much, he did like a demonstration video, of what would happen if an ICBM was to hit a city, and just off the in itself, things are getting burnt the fuck up, and then the destructive wind, just the wind of the radius, whatever it was, just the wind. That's scriptural, where I believe it's in Jeremiah, where the Lord, the destroying wind, and the besom of destruction. That wind in itself, like the blast, it's gonna literally just fucking rip shit into pieces, man. And the elements go, let alone the actual fire of the missiles actually, reaching, and just melting every element in its fucking, in its vicinity. That's the elements being melted with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, So Jake see the prophets, but see Jake not taking things serious, man. All Jake wanna do is fucking rise up and play and party and bullshit, man. But see, you niggas not taking the word very, serious of what's coming very soon in the near future, man. That these missiles are coming, man. All according to prophecy. And what the fuck is going to deliver you from the ICBM nuclear missiles other than Yahweh Shemi outside having mercy upon you, man? Because Jake think that they got, fucking bunkers and shit, man, that they gonna, somehow escape this thing, and take their sweet ass time, to show for their repentance to Yahweh Shemi outside. The Lord's gonna leave you here and fucking melt you, man. Because of your great pride and your evil, man, that you continue to do. Verse 12, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwell righteousness, man. So our mindset is we understand that these things has to come, but we understand the reason of why such great destruction has happened, because according to prophecy, the kingdom has to be established, man. After this destruction, man, Lord willing, that we be of that number, us being beaten up in the chariots, the New Jerusalem coming down, I'm saying, the first day of the kingdom, it's like, first and foremost, the crowns being set upon our heads, from our king, Yahweh Shai, and then, the New Jerusalem coming down, the first day of the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? See, this is, the new earth and, and the new heavens wherein dwell righteousness that we're looking forward to, that we understand that's coming, But see, but first must come, just people, um, suffering the second death. This is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse, let's start at verse 17. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you, man. So the Lord's describing, see, like a blacksmith, he has to melt to draw something, to forge like a sword, whatever, you have to like melt, silver and gold, whatever, and iron and lead, tin in the furnace, to forge, to forge anything, like any metal that you want to make, the same way, how how they gather iron, lead, and tin and silver in that furnace to melt those things. The Lord is going to gather His people to melt them. The 2/3 of His people, man. In His anger and in His fury, He's going to leave you there and fucking melt you, man. I'm saying, I'll read it again. As they gathered silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Like we just described, how the Lord is perfecting everybody's wickedness, because see, this judgment is going to be one final judgment forever. Everybody's doing the shit that they doing. That's why you seeing bitches in the club fucking sucking on snakes and shit head first, like the fucking head of a snake, just head first deep in their throat and shit, just completely evil and fucking satanic, fucking transsexuals and transvestites walking around pridefully, women walking around pridefully with their titties out, just completely, having no, fucking shame about themselves, the niggas walking around down low, faggots fucking killing each other and shit, and just completely making sport of His prophets. The same way the Lord, He gathers, iron, lead in a furnace to melt it. The Lord's perfecting you in the same type of likeness. He's perfecting you, giving you reasons for you to suffer the second death, man. Like this man, this is well calculated, man. This is generations in the making, because the Lord, He's gonna visit, like we just read, the Lord visits the iniquity of the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, man. This ultimately because you people hate the true and living power, man. So the Lord is well right, and what I'm saying, in well right, and in all reason for you to suffer this thing, man, because of your great hatred and your love for evil, man. I'm saying, it come to blow the fire upon it to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof. And ye shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh Shai, have poured out my fury upon you. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, yeah, come, and that's pretty much the main point. So same way as how they gather, lead, iron, and metals in a furnace to melt it. The Lord is going to do this in like manner towards the evil of our people, man, towards the wickedness of, towards the wicked of our people, and gather them, like in Jeremiah, I believe it's I think it's in Ezekiel. Because this is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 13. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah came unto me a second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. And north is talking about, and this time, and north is talking about, America, it's Babylon the Great, and see, the Lord, is he's gathering, like we just said, he's truly perfecting, you people's evil, he's letting y'all do what the fuck y'all do, and just having y'all take pleasure in what y'all do, because see, matter of fact, I'll get that precept if I can find it. I'll get this one. This is Romans chapter 1. Verse verse 26. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affection, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of error, of their error, which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only to do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So the Lord gave you niggas up to this shit because, the Lord brought you back, in your reincarnation, in your wickedness again, so that you do whatever the fuck you want to do because you want to take heed, and follow after him back then. So the Lord said, I bet, I'll make one perfect judgment forever, and for all those that live ungodly and take pleasure, in their evil. It's gonna be one perfect ass judgment, because ain't gonna be another one like after this, because what? Because there ain't gonna be no more, evil, and wickedness amongst our nation, But I'm gonna get this other one that I believe in Psalms. Select you. Yeah, this is Psalm chapter 78. Alright, this is Psalm chapter 78. I'm almost finished. So, verse, I'll just start at verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to the law, incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in the parable, I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come to the the praises of the Lord Yahweh Shai and his strength, and his wonderful works that he have done. For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. The children of Ephraim being armed and carrying bows turned back in the day of battle, that they kept not the covenant of the Most High, and refused to walk in his law, and forgot his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Marvelous thing did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as an heap. In the daytime also he led them with the cloud, and all the night with the light of fire. He clave the rocks in the wilderness, and gave them drink as out of the great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock, and caused to run down like the rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted the Most High in their heart by asking meat for their lusts. Yea, they spake against the Most High. They said, Can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Yeah, So, these are the same niggas back then that was tempting the Lord in the wilderness, man. Crying out, for meat. Even though, where, our power Yahweh Shem outside, he gave us, the manna, and he caused Moses, to commit spiritual power, and split the rock in half, and gushed out water for them, and all these great acts, and just a whole chariot fucking manifest before them, leading them all throughout the wilderness. So much so to for even those 40 years, their very garments and their shoes weren't even worn out. For 40 years, and the same clothes, just all these great wonders, yet, Jake was still provoking the Lord, man. Verse 20, behold, he smote the rock, that the water gushed out, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the Lord Yahweh Shemashai heard this, and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the Most High, and trusted not in his salvation, though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He caused an east wind to blow in the heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp round about their habitations. So they did eat and were well filled, for he gave them their own desire. Yeah, man. So the Lord still gave you, these niggas lusts, man. He still gave you, your chicken that you wanted. Verse 30, they were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of the Most High came unto them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. When you read, it's that account, like while they were eating, the Lord caused to where, fiery serpents, was fucking, chewing out people's ass up, you know, and the Lord smote them. Verse 32, for all this they sinned still and believed not for his wondrous works. And the Lord did this because of his wrath. So, I want to bring that out because see, the Lord, he brought back this same type generation back into this time, and really gave them up to their lusts. Because, in this account the Lord gave them up to their lusts, Jake wanted chicken, and while, Jake was eating up chicken, the Lord, caused fiery serpents, to rise up upon them, in the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai, so Lord brought you niggas back to, in this time, in the peak of, all time wickedness, at the hand of the wicked, of the so-called white man, to where, he gives you privilege to do your wickedness, to do your evil, to commit all your abominations that you, the flesh can fucking desire. So you what? So you experience this second damnation, this second final death, man. This ultimate perfection of judgment, man, which is these missiles, these ICBM nuclear missiles, man. I'm gonna skip down to verse 35. And they remembered that the Most High was verse 36. Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yet many a time turned he his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away and cometh not again. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? Yeah, they turned back and tempted the Most High and limited the Holy One of Israel. So they remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy. How he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink. And it's pretty much going to the plagues, what the Lord did. And I'm gonna skip down to a couple of verses. Verse 56. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High power, and kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful bow. For they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When the Most High heard this, he was wroth and greatly abhorred Israel, so that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent which he placed among them, and delivered his strength into captivity and his glory into the enemy's hand. That's pretty much, us going into, just us, us leaving our order, and suffering, captivity. But the main point, is that, this is the same generation, of, the niggas from the flood, niggas in the wilderness that died, the Sodom and Gomorrah, the Sodom and Gomorrites, whatever. I'm saying, these same individuals are being brought back, these same spirits are being reincarnated back in these last days to suffer this damnation written, man. To be melted, in their wickedness, man. I'm saying, because, because of their deeds, of what they did back then. I'm saying? So, that's why you seeing Jake it's like goddamn, that Jake is just at an all-time, just complete wicked, and it's like they ain't gonna ever cease to fucking stop. But see, It's a spirit upon them, that the Lord has fucking, gave their minds over. You know, the Lord caused it to where, the deep sleep upon them. To where, they can't see this thing, nor, have eyes to see, or ears to hear, so that their hearts be converted and healed. And like we just read, because see, you know, the blood of the prophets is going to be required of this generation, right? And this generation once again is brought back in this time, to receive that damnation, man. So that they be melted, man. And see, us that that understand that we fear, and we're seeking, to be in the mercies of Yahweh Shemi Asad, in the in the grace of Yahweh Shemi Asad, so that we don't experience this, this damnation that's coming. That's why we go out to the highways and byways, we keep the laws to the best of our capability, being brotherly, show for charity, all in the fear of Yahweh Shemi Asad, because see, we understand what's coming, man. We understand prophecy, so we hope and seek, that the Son of Righteousness fall upon us, so that we don't experience this fucking million-degree heat and being melted, fucking melted, at the presence of the Lamb and the holy angels, But so yeah, come, man. That's basically the main points that I want to bring out for this lesson, man. Slow willing that all you brothers and sisters find satisfying. Until next time, I say shalom.